Welcome to Levant TV Headlines. In a rare outreach to Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, President Barack Obama has written a letter about Islamic State militants, a common enemy in Syria and Iraq, according to diplomatic sources. And on Syria, Interpol officials warn increasing number of would-be fighters are traveling by cruise ship to Turkey, where they can easily slip in across the border into Syria. Moving to Iraq, Islamic State jihadists have launched a campaign of mass killings aimed at sowing enough fear to warn tribal leaders off. Also in Iraq, US officials said more than 600 US troops since 2003 reported that they were exposed to chemical agents in Iraq, a much higher number than the Pentagon had previously stated. Now let's take a look at top headlines in today's newspapers in the Middle East. From Beirut, the Daily Star reports that Lebanese Christian ministers refused Thursday to sign a draft law extending the Lebanese parliament's term in a symbolic gesture that will not impede the controversial move. The decision to not endorse the bill means it will pass by default in 5 days, making the extension of the legislature's term a fait accompli. Also in the Daily Star, Hezbollah's deputy chief Naim Qassem says there is a great opportunity for Lebanon amid the political and security fire raging in the region, which, if seized by political leaders, will protect the country and serve the interests of all. From Cairo, the Egypt Independent reports that Interior Minister Mohammed Ibrahim said 312 terrorist cells have been apprehended by security since January 2014. He said the fact is proof that all movements by terrorist elements are now under the ministry's watch, and that soon Sinai will be declared a terrorist-free zone. The paper also reports that General Hatem Anan, brother of former Chief of Staff of the Egyptian Armed Forces Sami Anan and one of the founders of Egypt's Arabism Democratic Party, announced the submission of the official papers of the party to the Political Parties Affairs Committee. And from the UAE, the Khalij Times says the Ministry of Finance, the MOF, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Sheikh Zayed Housing Program and the Emirates Development Bank to provide housing loans to UAE citizens. According to the agreement, the ministry will offer 5 billion UAE dirhams over the next 5 years for financing housing loans and residential complexes through the development of innovative financial solutions. Now let's have a look at top MidEast headlines from papers here in London. In The Independent, a document purporting to show the prices placed on the heads of captured Yazidi and Christian girls being sold at a slave market by ISIS has been dismissed by an expert as most likely fake. The document, which has been shared over 660 times on social media, at first glance appears authentic. In it, the prices of women are listed depending on their age, with those aged between 40 and 50 being sold at the lowest price. Also from the UK, The Guardian reports that would-be jihadi fighters are booking tickets on cruise ships to join extremists in battle zones in Syria and Iraq in an attempt to bypass efforts to stop them in neighboring Turkey. Interpol officials have said the international police body is preparing to expand the pilot program known as I Check It, under which airlines bounce passengers' information off Interpol's databases in the hope that the system could be expanded to include cruise operators, banks and hotels. Now let's have a look at top MidEast headlines in international papers. In the New York Times MidEast section, an article on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, who sought to reassure King Abdullah II of Jordan in a phone call on Thursday that Israel was committed to maintaining the status quo at a contested holy site in East Jerusalem, and that Israel would make every effort to restore calm here thereafter weeks of escalating tensions, according to statesmen from both sides. The phone call came a day after Jordan recalled its ambassador from Israel, saying the move was for consultations and to protest Israeli violations at the site known to Jews as the Temple Mount and to the Muslims as the Noble Sanctuary. From Berlin, the Deutsche Welle covers a story on the Palestinian faction Fatah, which has been targeted in an attack on the Gaza Strip. The bombings came just days before the first public commemoration of its deceased founder Yasser Arafat, who died 10 years ago. That was it for today's news roundup, and for more updates, please visit us on levant.tv. Thanks for watching. Be sure to join us again on Monday, and bye for now.